Have you ever loved someone so deeply, only to have them vanish from your life in an instant? Tonight, we bring you the heart-wrenching story of Linda, whose world shatters when Quang calls to break up, announcing he has a new girlfriend, Hung. Overwhelmed by heartbreak, Linda and her mother struggle to comprehend his sudden decision, questioning love, loyalty, and betrayal. But is this the end of Quang's feelings, or is there a hidden plan behind his cold words? Watch closely as secrets, emotions, and suspense unravel in this dramatic tale. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gripping stories. The night was unusually quiet, almost eerily so, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Linda sat alone in her small apartment, her hands trembling slightly as she reached for her phone. The screen lit up with Quang's name, and her heart skipped a beat. She hesitated, her thumb hovering over the answer button, a sense of dread mingling with the faint hope that maybe, just maybe, everything was okay. But deep down, she knew something had changed. When she finally answered, the voice on the other end sent a chill straight through her. Linda. I think we should break up, Quang said, his tone flat and distant, almost devoid of the warmth she remembered. The words landed like a hammer strike to her chest. She blinked rapidly, as if trying to erase the reality of what she just heard. Her heart pounded, and for a moment, she couldn't even breathe. The silence that followed felt heavier than the words themselves. Then, almost casually, Quang added, I have someone else now. Her name is Hung. The name sounded foreign, an intruder that had replaced every memory, every moment they had shared. Linda's world tilted, the floor beneath her threatening to give way. She pressed the phone to her ear, willing herself to hear the words differently, hoping it was some cruel mistake, a bad dream from which she would wake. But Quang's voice was calm, steady, and undeniably real. Linda's hands went to her face as tears began to flow. Uncontrolled, burning her cheeks. She couldn't find her voice at first, only a trembling gasp escaping her lips. Her mother, who had been quietly in the kitchen, rushed to her side the moment she heard her daughter's cries. She held Linda close, wrapping her arms around her like a shield against the storm of pain that had just hit them. Both of them cried, the sound echoing through the apartment like a mournful symphony of heartbreak. Why? Why would he do this to you, Linda? Her mother sobbed, her voice choked with anger and sorrow. You didn't deserve this. None of it. Linda's own voice finally broke free, raw and trembling, full of disbelief and hurt. Mom. I don't understand. What did I do wrong? Did he ever love me at all? The questions tumbled out like desperate pleas into the void, unanswered, leaving only the weight of her grief. Each word from Quang seemed to cut deeper than the last. He didn't offer comfort, explanation, or even hesitation, just the cold, distant truth of his decision. Linda's mind raced, replaying every memory, every shared smile, every whispered promise, searching for a clue she might have missed. Some sign that would make sense of the cruelty. But there was none. It was as if the man she loved had disappeared overnight, replaced by someone unrecognizable, leaving her to grapple with the emptiness of loss. Her mother held her tighter, whispering fragments of reassurance, though her own tears fell freely. You are strong, Linda. You will get through this. But my heart aches for you. My heart aches. The apartment felt suffocating, the air thick with sorrow, as mother and daughter clung to each other in the darkness, mourning a love that had ended too abruptly, too cruelly. Linda's sobs echoed long into the night, a poignant testament to a heart shattered by betrayal, a love abruptly torn away. Leaving only the haunting question, how could someone she trusted so deeply walk away so easily, leaving her world in ruins?
Linda's tears blurred her vision as she struggled to steady her voice,
trying to make sense of the cruel words she had just heard. "Quang. Why? Why are you doing this to me?" she asked, her voice trembling with a mixture of disbelief, pain, and anger. Each word felt like it carried the weight of her shattered heart. "What did I do wrong? Did our love mean nothing to you?" There was a pause on the other end, but it offered no comfort. Quang's sigh was faint, almost inaudible, but it carried a cold finality. "Linda. It's not about what you did wrong. It's just over. I can't continue this relationship." His tone was deliberate, precise, like he had rehearsed these words many times, stripping them of any warmth, leaving only the bare, unflinching truth. Linda felt a shiver run down her spine, not from cold, but from the sheer distance she suddenly felt between them. Her mother, still holding her, joined the call. Her voice, usually soft and gentle, was now firm, stern, and unwavering. "Quang, listen to me carefully. If you abandon Linda, do not expect me to accept you back into my life. You have responsibilities, do not forget that." The weight in her voice was unmistakable. She was furious, protective, and heartbroken all at once. Linda could hear the tension in her mother's tone, a reflection of her own turmoil, magnified by a sense of betrayal and disappointment. Linda's mind raced, trying to digest the confrontation. Every memory of laughter, every late-night conversation, every moment they had shared suddenly felt fragile, as though it had been made of glass, ready to shatter with the slightest touch. Her chest tightened, each breath becoming a struggle. "Quang. Do you even love me anymore? Is this really the end?" Her words were almost a whisper, fragile yet piercing, carrying all the hope and pain of someone refusing to let go. But Quang's response was calm, almost disturbingly composed. "Linda, I can't change my feelings. You deserve someone better, someone who can be fully with you. I've found that person, and her name is Hung." The name felt like a blade twisting in her heart. Linda's vision blurred further as she pressed the phone to her chest, her whole body shaking. It was as though the ground beneath her had given way, and she was falling endlessly into a pit of despair. Her mother tightened her grip, as if trying to anchor her to reality, to prevent her from being completely consumed by grief. "Listen, Linda. No matter what happens, you are not alone. But Quang, do not forget the promises you made. The life you shared with her. You cannot simply erase it." The words carried a mixture of anger, sadness, and warning, echoing like thunder in the silence between them. Linda's tears flowed freely now, hot and unstoppable. The room seemed to close in around her, the walls a silent witness to her heartbreak. She felt betrayed, abandoned, and bewildered. The man she had loved with all her heart had suddenly become a stranger, his feelings replaced by something, or someone else entirely. And yet, beneath the pain, there was a faint, desperate flicker of hope that maybe, just maybe, this was some misunderstanding, some cruel twist of fate that could be undone. But deep down, Linda knew that hope was fragile. Every word from Quang, every firm statement from her mother, carved the reality deeper into her heart. She clung to her mother, her sobs echoing through the apartment, each one a testament to the love lost, the betrayal felt, and the uncertain future that now stretched out before her. And in that moment, as the night deepened and their cries filled the air, the three of them, mother, daughter, and a man who had once been her world, stood on the precipice of a change none of them could fully comprehend, each facing the raw, unrelenting truth of a love torn apart. But as the call ended and silence settled over the apartment, Linda couldn't shake the nagging feeling that there was more beneath Quang's words than he had let on. Her heart ached with confusion. Could he truly have stopped loving her so abruptly? Or was there something else driving him, some plan, some secret desire she had no way of knowing? The very thought made her stomach twist. Every memory of him, the way his eyes crinkled when he laughed, the gentle touch of his hand, the promises whispered in the quiet moments, clashed violently with the cold, distant man on the phone. How could the same person who had once loved her so fiercely suddenly claim to love someone else? Her mother's embrace remained steady, a lifeline in the swirling storm of doubt and grief. "Linda. Listen to me," she said softly, though her own voice trembled with suppressed emotion. "People can change, or sometimes they pretend. Sometimes the heart wants what it wants, but that doesn't mean it's the whole truth. Be careful. Do not let your love blind you to what might be happening behind the scenes." Linda pressed her forehead into her mother's shoulder, clinging to both comfort and caution. Her tears had slowed to a steady rhythm, but her mind raced faster than ever. What if Quang's sudden announcement wasn't entirely genuine? What if Hung was a distraction, a ruse, or a pawn in some plan he had yet to reveal? She remembered the subtle hints in his behavior over the past weeks, the late-night phone calls he tried to hide, the secretive messages on his phone, the way he seemed distant yet reluctant to let go of certain parts of his life. Her intuition, the same intuition that had warned her when things didn't feel right in the past, now screamed at her that there was more to this story than heartbreak alone. Yet even as these suspicions stirred within her, the pain of rejection was undeniable. Her chest ached, heavy with grief, and the apartment felt unbearably silent without Quang's voice. She imagined him smiling at Hung, imagining a life that should have been hers, and a part of her broke with each passing second. And still, beneath the anguish, there lingered a stubborn ember of hope, a question she dared not voice aloud. Could the man who had abandoned her be leading this course for some reason, perhaps even for her own good, or for some goal only he understood? Her mother, sensing her daughter's inner turmoil, stroked her hair gently. "Linda, sometimes people leave, but it's not always what it seems. Watch carefully. Observe. Protect your heart, but do not close it completely. There may be truths hidden from you, truths that will only reveal themselves in time." Linda nodded, absorbing her mother's words like a fragile shield against the uncertainty that threatened to consume her. As the night deepened, Linda sat on the edge of the sofa, staring blankly at the muted phone, 1,000 questions spinning in her mind. Was Quang's love truly gone? Or was this a calculated move, a way to test her, manipulate circumstances, or even safeguard something she didn't yet understand? Could Hung be a mere illusion, a temporary substitute, or worse, a part of a plan that might someday bring them back together? Each thought was a double-edged sword, cutting both hope and despair. And so, mother and daughter remained together in the quiet, a shared fortress against the storm outside. They cried, whispered warnings, and clung to each other, their hearts heavy yet alert, knowing that love could be both fragile and complex, and that behind the pain of a sudden farewell might lie secrets, intentions, or truths still hidden in the shadows. The night seemed endless, filled with unspoken questions and fragile suspicions, leaving Linda to wonder whether the man she had loved so deeply had truly abandoned her, or if the story was far from over, waiting to unfold in ways she could not yet imagine.